Okay, remember this is my glue gun frames. I'm trying to show you something that you can put at the back of this frame. If you've got any old frame, not too big or so on, then you can try this different ways. I've already showed you popsicle sticks that you can just glue together, and they make a very nice backing for a portrait. And then I showed you, yes, I think the two that I've showed you is the thinner popsicle sticks, and this is a broader one, a bigger one. And now I'm going to show you cardboard. You can actually use cardboard as well to put at the back of your frame if it's not too heavy. And if you just give this a very good coating, you can use this. Actually, it works very nice. So what you can do is you just put your frame down. I'm just going to quickly go around it because I want to see how big they are, the one that I'm using now. And then I'm going to go into the inside, and then I'm just going to cut an oval out that it can fit at the back here. This is just cardboard that a box that I received something in, so it's handy. You've always got it at hand, and you can use it for so many crafts and things. And if you are starting out, I don't want you to go and buy a lot of things that cost a lot of money. Just start with what you've got, a little bit of craft paint, and yeah, and if you start then later on you can start and buy yourself some decent stuff. Not that this is not decent, but yeah. So you can see there, I'm just gonna make sure it doesn't stick out anywhere. I can maybe cut it a little bit smaller, so let me just do that. I don't want it to be able to be seen from the sides, although I will paint it the same color as the frame, that you don't that it can, you know, look the same. So you can just take off the excess. You can see I folded it there a little bit when I started to cut it, but if you just turn it over, it's fine on that side. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take my gesso. You can even use your usual, you know, your acrylic PVA, paint your wall, but it must be a rather decent acrylic PVA, you know, like a Plascon or a Dulux. You can even use that for a base coat. That's why I say if you start out, don't go and buy yourself a lot of things. It's expensive, so if you like it, then you can, as you progress, go and buy yourself some decent paint and so on. For now, I'm just going to use my craft paints. If I haven't got the color in my craft paints, I will use my normal acrylics, but I'm going to try and just use my Heritage or even dollar craft paints. I don't know what is available in your country. USA and those places, you've got a lot of more things to choose from. We have limited craft paint, good craft paints in South Africa. So yeah, but I'm just going to let this dry, and then I will show you what I'm going to do on top of this. I will maybe give it 2 coats. So as usual, I just make myself a border there in the inside, and I'm going to make a simple sketch. I'm just going to make myself a pot there, and maybe put in a little bit of a table at the back, and then I'm just going to make a big flower there, one there. I'm thinking of maybe one there. I will just see, I can maybe change that as I go along, but for now it will just be something like this. It can maybe be a little bit of poppies or something. I'm not sure. I will see as I go along. I'm not going to put in the leaves, as that is that I'll put in as I go along. So I'm going to start with my neutral background. I'm just taking craft paint, black and white. I'm going to use a blue, a purple, pink, white, a little bit of yellow. Yeah, that's all the colors I'm going to use. If I use something else, and green obviously, I will just tell you. So I'm just going to quickly, remember this is my cardboard. I tried to show you different things on what you can paint. And I just go over a little bit, as if I want to move this maybe a little bit, that I don't have some white showing through. So I'm just going to paint the whole thing. And I'm going to make it a little bit darker on this side. And this side I'm going to make a little bit lighter. And I'm just going to make the tablecloth white, and I'm going to put some blue stripes onto the table. I think I'm going to make that a little bit shorter. These things are so small, and I'm not used to painting so small, but yeah. Remember, I'm going to use my Rotring Tiki Graphite 0.3 as well at the end, just to make a little bit of lines here and there. I'm going to make it a white pot. My light is coming from the left hand side, so I'm just going to have a slight shadow on my right hand side. That's why it's darker there as well. So I'm going to start with my pink areas, or my purpley areas. I will just see if as I go along, what I'm going to do. Okay, that's out of focus, so no, I don't like that one like that. I'm going to do it like this. Sorry, I'm just going to change the angle there. While it's wet, I'm going to put in a little bit of my blue. I'm just going to make them a little bit like poppies, these pink ones, the shape rather. And remember, this always takes a ugly face before it gets pretty, so don't be discouraged too quickly. Just keep pushing and going through. It will eventually turn to look out like something. It's usually when you start to put in the final touches. So I'm going to put in white flowers there. I think I might maybe just need to put in something in between there first before I go to the... Okay, I just want to get a little bit of yellow quickly. I'm painting wet and wet, but I'm going to dry it now quickly. If you want to paint it in stages, you can dry it in between the next stage. You can just pause, and if you want to paint along, I would love it if you paint along. Okay, now I'm taking my small round brush, and I'm taking a little bit of my orange, and I'm just going to go around these yellow ones with my orange. And remember, the craft paints, sometimes you need to go over it maybe once or twice. So I'm just gonna make a few. Let me just get a little bit more paint. I'm just gonna make a few leaf shapes around some of the areas. You can even take a little bit of your black with your green, just to make a shadow on the one side of the leaf. You can just half leaf the light color and the other half the darker color. So I'm not going to worry too much about these leaves because they are very small. And then I'm just going to go around these pink parts here. If I don't like it, I will maybe probably paint it. I don't think I like it, but I'm not going to worry too much now. I just want to quickly get all the things in that I want in, and then I will take it from there. Just going to take my dark pink again and just make it a little bit slightly bigger. I don't want the green to be too much if I'm going to keep it. And then I'm going to put a little bit white with it, and I'm just going to highlight some of the areas. I'm just making buds there. I will show you now what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to take the back of my brush. I'm still working with my small one. I'm just going to make some dots on the pot. And I'm going to quickly dry this because I want to start to work with my pen. I try not to go into the paint this pen, or you can even use your jelly rolls, but I prefer them to just be slightly dry before I do that. So I'm just going to quickly dry this. Now if you look closely, you can see I need a little bit of a second coat on this one. So I'm just going to take my white again with my little bit of my black to make a grey, and I'm just going to. The thing with the craft paints, they are not not as pigmented as the real acrylic artist paints. So that's always a little bit of a challenge to work with craft paints, but I want to show you in these videos that you can paint a pretty picture with your craft paints. I usually in my videos use my artist acrylics and stuff, but I also want to show you, if you haven't started out painting, that you can easily start with your cheaper craft paints and work your way up. If you like it and you want to go on with your paintings, you can start with your artist quality paints. I'm just making it slightly darker. I'm just going to check it now. Not sure if I'm going too light now, but we will see when I put the frame on. I just want to slightly dry it before I do that. I'm looking through my camera and I think I actually like the dark. So I don't know, I think I must maybe make those also dark. I will just see. The only problem is then this won't work as nice, but I can always go to my white jelly roll pen. Okay, I'm gonna try my rotring sticky graphite. That one, I love that one. This one actually, and I'm just going to go around these flowers here and there. And you can see the moment that you start using your pen, or you can use your little round brush as well for this, you can see it's starting to get more refined, and it's starting looking nice and not a mess anymore. So that ugly part I talked about, you can see this helps a lot with that ugly part. So don't give up, just go on and try. If it doesn't work, you can always go and paint over it. If it's acrylic, just go with your acrylics, or if it's oil, you can paint over with oil or whatever. But I think you get the picture. Now, how cute is this? I'm just tempted to put on a little bit of my white on the white flowers, so I think I will just quickly put another thick layer. I like my paints to be thick, but it's not always possible with the craft paints as they dry flatter. I just want to highlight that area as well a little bit. Lost it somehow a little bit. Just going to circle some of these, not all of them. Just gonna put a little bit more orange on those flowers. I want them to stand a little bit more. I must maybe put in a little bit of my yellow with it. Let me just see. Wonder if I've got any yellow left. I'm gonna take a little bit of white. There you go. So all that I'm now going to do is I'm going to stick this. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue with my glue gun there. I'm just going to stick this onto my glue frame, and then maybe we'll just go around this with my glue gun just to work it off, and then I'm going to paint this whole thing pink at the back. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I would like to see you next time, and you must have a lovely day. Stay safe.